Hello guys, it says it once again. We're going to be continuing with our financial modeling, and this time we're looking at how to value a company given that we are done with our income statement and balance sheet. So I'm still going to use the data from our last lesson, our previous lesson on financial statement modeling. So what we need to value a company is first to calculate the free cash flows, and then we use WACC to value the company. Okay, so the formula for calculating free cash flows, you know that it's equal to profit after tax. Then you add back our depreciation. You subtract any increases in our current as well as our fixed assets. You add back any increases in current liabilities. You also add back the tax adjusted interest on debt. And then you subtract the tax adjusted interest on and on cash and marketable securities. That's how we get our free cash flows. So let's do it practically using Excel. We start off with our profit after tax from year number 1, which is our 2021. So it's equal to, we've already calculated this, so it's a matter of bringing it down. What is our profit after tax in year number 1? It's 246. So just say it's equal to that value over there, which is 246. Yes, now copy the formula till the end. See, 352. Now we need to add back depreciation because it's an intangible asset, an intangible expense. So we need to add it back to our profit. Look, here we have negative depreciation. It's negative. So to add it back, just include another negative. So it's equal to negative, sorry, the equal sign first. It's equal to, then negative. Remember, we want to add it back, so we want a positive value of depreciation over there, and we have a negative one. So negative, we get a positive. So it's equal to the negative of our depreciation. See, now we have 116 instead of just negative 116. Then copy this formula. There we go. Decrease in it's an increase in current assets. You have to subtract it from this value. So it's equal to negative, then bracket. Negative, then bracket. Inside the brackets, we want the difference of the current assets. So you're going to say current assets in this period, subtract current assets from the previous period to get the difference in this year. There we go. Negative 15. And the negative is for that word less there. Now let's copy everything, the formula, to the end. Everything is negative, that's correct. Now let's go to our current liabilities. We are going to add them back. So it's just a matter of finding the difference between current period, current liabilities is 88 minus the previous, which is 80. There you go, it's 8. That's the difference. And we need to add it back, so the positive sign is 5. Copy the formula. Now let's go to increase in fixed assets. Remember, you have to subtract this one, and it's at cost. So we are not using net fixed assets, we're using the fixed assets at cost. It's equal to our fixed assets at cost, subtract previous fixed assets at cost. But remember, we are subtracting this value, so let's put everything in a bracket and also include a negative sign. Let's include the negative sign. Copy everything. There we go. Now we need to calculate and add back the interest. And remember, it's after tax, which means we have to adjust for the tax rate. So what is our interest on debt? What is our interest on debt? Our interest on debt from our income statement is that 32, 32, 32, 32. And we want to add it back. So it's equal to negative. Then you include a bracket. Everything in the bracket now will be affected by that negative. We want it to be positive, so we include the negative. It's equal to negative of that. That's our debt. Let's disappear. Okay. Oh, but that has to be tax adjusted, which means we multiply it by 1 minus the tax rate. 1 minus the tax rate. What is our tax rate? It's 40%. But I'm going to lock now the 40%. Remember, it's our rate and it's only on one place, so we have to lock it. Here we go. 19.2. Copy this formula till the end. See, the 19.2s are similar because our dates did not change. Yes, I used the correct value. Now for the tax adjusted interest on cash and marketable securities, we're also going to do the same. It's equal to, we want to subtract it from our income statement. It's positive, so let's include a negative sign. Then bracket, same procedure, 8.95 multiplied by bracket 1 minus the tax rate of 40. Let's also lock that tax rate by putting our dollar signs. Bracket. Okay, now that makes sense. Copy the formula. So to get our free cash flows, we simply have to add everything that's here. So for column of 2021, it's equal to sum. Then you add everything, 175. Then copy the formula until the end. So the free cash flows for 2025 should be 228. That's how you calculate the free cash flows. Now, to value the company using the free cash flows, we will need two pieces of information. The first one that we need is the WACC. In this case, we are given that it's 20%, so I've already typed in 20%. We also need the long-term growth rate. We need the long-term growth rate of the company. In this case, it's 5%. So if you are given the real growth rate, maybe of 2%, and then an inflation rate of 3%, you simply have to add the two growth rates. You simply have to add them and they'll give you 5%. Don't make the mistake of using the sales growth rate in this case. That's a mistake that I always do, so please don't be like me. Now for the free cash flows, we've already calculated them. We need to bring them down. So it's equal to the free cash flows which are there. Enter. Now copy everything till the last year. That's the free cash flows. Now the terminal value, you only calculate it for the last year, the final year, and it's equal to this cash flow this free cash flow of the last year. Okay, I'm going to put everything in brackets now so that it makes sense. So the bracket for it's a fraction, so the denominator and the numerator are going to have different brackets. So for the numerator, it's our free cash flow multiplied by the growth rate of the company, expected growth rate, which is 1 plus our growth rate. We said it's 5%. We can either lock it or not, because we're only going to be using this rate here. So just to be safe, lock it. There we go. Now we know that our cash flow is going to grow at that rate, but the numerator now is W minus G, which is our work. Okay, I'm going to put another bracket for the denominator, which is our work minus our growth rate. Then we close it. There we go, 1598. So what did we do here? So to calculate the terminal value, we're simply saying our free cash flow for the final year multiplied by the growth rate, which is 1 plus the 5% that's given here, divided by our work minus the growth rate. That's how we get the terminal value. Now let's add everything up. It's equal to this year plus that value. What do we get? So I'm saying free cash flow plus the terminal value and getting the total. Since we don't have terminal values for the other ones, we're going to get the same free cash flow. Add for everything. The only value that's going to change is for the last year, which will give us 1826.47. So now what we want is the enterprise value. Enterprise value is the net present value of these free cash flows discounted using the work. So we're going to say it's equal to NPV. NPV. What rate are we going to use? It's 20%, which is the work. Then you put your comma. Then you highlight all the values that you want to discount backwards. It's these values. 1230.89. That's our enterprise value. Now add the initial value of our cash and marketable securities. That means the cash and marketable securities in year number 1 is equal to, what is our cash and marketable securities in year number 0? So not year number 1. The initial one is in year number 0. Bring it down. There we go. So we are adding those two. Let's add. It's equal to that value plus that 80. So our initial, or the initial value of our assets was 1310.89. Now let's remove the debt. Let's remove the debt. And in this case, you're now using the debt, the current debt value. And fortunately for us, the current debt value did not change. It's still the same, which is 320. So it's that value. But this time we're going to need it to be negative because we're subtracting. We are subtracting. So let's just put the negative there. Good. Negative 320. Let's add, because we want to subtract. It's this, subtract that. What do we get? 1320 plus negative 320. 990.89, which is 991. So this is the value of our company. This is the value of our equity in this company. That's how you value a company. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have learned a lot. Uploading this on YouTube, so like the video, place any comments if you have any, ask any questions if you have any, and see you on the next video.